All right, let's talk about a book that has totally shaken up how millions of people think about money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You've probably heard of it. Our mission for the next few minutes, we're going to break down its core idea and maybe challenge a few things you've always believed about finances. Let's get into it. At the heart of it all is this huge clash between two father figures. On one side, you have Poor Dad. He's the voice of tradition, go to school, get a safe job, climb the ladder. It's what most of us are told. But then you've got Rich Dad. He says, forget the job, build systems. These aren't just two pieces of advice, they're two completely different ways of looking at the world. So where does this whole Rich Dad way of thinking even begin? Well, it all boils down to the most powerful idea in the book, completely flipping the script on two little words we all think we understand.
And that brings us to this question. Before we go on, just take a second. Ask yourself, what do you think a true asset is? Most of us would say our house, maybe our car. But Robert Kiyosaki's definition, well, it's so simple, it's kind of brutal, and it might just change how you see literally everything you own.
Okay, here it is. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, period. That's it. That's the whole rule. It doesn't matter how fancy it is or what it's worth on paper. The only question that matters is, does it make you money?
And the flip side, you guessed it, a liability takes money out of your pocket. And this is where it gets really spicy, right? Because it makes us look at the things we've been told are our greatest assets. That house you live in with the big mortgage, that new car with the monthly payment, by this definition, they're actually liabilities.
Now, once you get your head around that idea, it starts to expose another huge myth, what you could call the Great Deception. It's the idea that having a high income automatically makes you wealthy.
For most people, the financial reality looks like this. The paycheck comes in from your job and poof, it goes right back out to pay for the mortgage, the car, the bills. It's a cycle the book calls the rat race. And there's almost nothing left at the end of the month to actually build wealth.
But the wealthy? Oh, they play a totally different game. Their cash flow looks like this. They use their income to buy assets first. And those assets, we're talking businesses, real estate, stocks, they start generating more income. It creates this amazing, powerful loop where their money starts doing all the heavy lifting for them.
And this leads to such a crucial reframing of what wealth even is. It's not about the size of your paycheck, it's about freedom. The book's definition is all about time. If you stopped working today, how long could your money support you? That number, that is your real wealth.
So if wealth is about freedom and time, it directly attacks this idea we're all taught to chase, job security. The book basically argues that focusing only on a steady paycheck is a trap and that our real goal should be something much, much bigger.
I mean, just look at the difference when you put them side by side. It's night and day. Poor Dad is all about job security. Rich Dad is chasing financial independence. Poor Dad says work for your money. Rich Dad says make your money work for you. It's a completely different approach to life itself.
Okay, so we've kind of blown up a few old ideas. But what do you do now? What's the path forward? Well, the book isn't just about criticism. It also gives us the keys to actually start building wealth.
A huge point here is that our schools leave this massive gap in our education. We learn history and science, which is great, but we don't learn how money actually works. Things like investing, taxes, cash flow. This is the language of wealth, and most of us are thrown into the world having to figure it out all on our own. And this leads to one of the most practical tips in the entire book. When you're picking a job, especially when you're young, don't just look at the salary. Ask yourself, what skills am I going to learn here? The advice is to work to learn, not just to earn, because skills like these are what build real lasting wealth, way more than any single paycheck ever could.
So as we pull all these threads together, assets and liabilities, cash flow, working to learn, you start to see that they're all really pointing toward one single massive idea.
And there you have it. That's the whole game right there. At the end of the day, this book isn't a how-to guide for buying real estate or picking stocks. It's a manual for rewiring your brain. It's about making that fundamental shift from thinking like an employee to thinking like an investor. So we'll leave you with the one question that wraps up the entire Rich Dad philosophy. And I want you to really think about it. Take a good, honest look at your own life and ask, is my money working for me or am I working for it? Your answer to that question could truly change everything.